Looks like the slop era has begun, and I don't know how to feel about it. I hate it. I hate it. Movies are slop, TV is slop, Instagram is slop, TikTok is slop, Twitch is slop, X is slop. Even YouTube is becoming slop. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but it really is starting to become draining to be on these platforms because there are so many people that have no originality at all. Everybody's coming on here and doing the same thing, saying the same stuff, editing the same way. It all feels the same. One giant cookie cutter copy paste. Out of all the places, YouTube is the place where it hits the most because YouTube is the spot where you thought it was going to be original thoughts, that people were going to be themselves. But turns out it's the place where people are being the most generic. People are making the most slop. It's the ground zero of slop. And the problem is that this slop is spreading into the real world. It really affects how people see reality. It affects how we interact with each other. It affects the quality of life that we're all experiencing. On my other channel, I made a video about this. I mentioned how the world now feels gray. Nothing feels entertaining anymore. Nothing feels original. Nothing feels like it has value anymore. And it's because there's just too much slop being pumped into the system. The world feels gray. Our dopamine levels have been destroyed by the algorithm, the almighty algorithm. All of the movies are just wash and repeat. The TV shows, generic and full of propaganda. Music, don't get me started on music. It's trash. And little by little, those things start to weigh on you as an individual. There's too many choices, and the choices are all low quality. When I was young, I would complain about there not being enough stuff to watch. That's how we used to say it, by the way. Stuff to watch. Nobody used the word content. The word content is a derivative. It shows you how far down the rabbit hole we've gone, that we've commoditized making videos. We've stripped it away from all of its originality and it's just generic content. And the fact that there's just so much of it and the good stuff is mixed with the bad stuff, it just makes for an overwhelming experience. That's the feeling I get. It's a feeling of craving authenticity and craving something real, but having to sift through a bunch of garbage to find it. To the point where you're mentally exhausted by the end of the day. Doom scrolling all day, going from YouTube video to YouTube video, looking for something to watch, something to entertain yourself with. It's only getting worse. That's the scary part about it. It's only getting worse. AI? Oh no, don't get me started with AI. If you thought that it was bad when people were making nonsense videos manually, AI is just putting that on steroids. The guy making 10 channels and each channel posts a video every hour of the day, 24 videos a day of pure slop, pure nonsense, flooding the algorithm. The guys that are looking for every single topic and making a video on it with AI. Literally, you can't go and find travel vlogs anymore. Content about going to a new country, they went through and I don't know what they did. They searched for every single country and they made a video on every single country. And I'm not talking about one guy. I'm talking about like hundreds of channels. So now when you search things to do in Brazil, you find 1,000 videos of just generic AI slop with the AI voiceover, AI subtitles, and AI images. The slop era has truly begun. And it's not just that people are making fake AI videos that have misinformation. It's also that it's affecting the youth. The newer generation, their brain is rotted to the core. Look at Streamer University. Look at how they behave. Look at how they see the world. They're willing to do whatever it takes for some attention. They're willing to say whatever nonsensical bullshit will get them a view, a like, a follow. This is not a recipe for success. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for societal collapse. People no longer know what's real and what's not. And they don't care to know what's real and what's not. People don't know the definition of a fact. They don't understand the difference between a fact and an opinion. They don't know what truth is anymore. They proudly say it. Personal truth. There is no such thing as a personal truth. It's either true or it's not. It's either real or it's not. It's either a lie or it's the truth. But people have lost that grasp on reality because they're surrounded by slop. Their brains have been overtaken, washed with the slop. They know nothing else other than slop. You think that younger generations understand that the world that they live in is not how it always was? No. They were born into the slop. They thrive on the slop. And the slop is going to be what ends us all. What can I do? The only thing I can do is come on here and complain about it. Cry about it. Try to make content that elevates us back to where we were. Try to be authentic, be myself, be real. But I'm fighting an uphill battle. When everybody who's on here is just trying to make money, they don't care about the consequences of their actions. They don't care if their content is trash that will rot the brains of the youth. They don't care about anything at all because they're just trying to get a click, a view, a subscriber. What difference does one guy out here in the wilderness yelling about the slop do? What does it change? Craving a world that no longer exists, that perhaps never existed. You know, I want to bake my cake and eat it too. I want to have some entertainment, but I want it to be high value. But you can't have high value entertainment without the slop. Just impossible. The only choice I have is to disconnect, to get back to basics, to get back to pen and paper. What other choice do I have? What else can I do? It's a slop apocalypse. What makes it bad is that when you try to not do what everybody else is doing, when you try to be authentic and just be yourself, you don't stand out because there's just so much competition. There's just so much slop filling those tubes, the YouTube, that it's impossible for people to find you. In the movies, they always show AI as some sort of robot that takes over the system or nanobots that start to self-replicate. And it's ironic that that's happening in real life and nobody's noticing it. Nobody's noticing it. It's already begun. The overwhelming amount of nonsense that's being produced is the nanobots replicating themselves and spreading. And we're just watching it happen. We're like the frog that you put in the boiling pot of water and you turn the temperature up little by little and he doesn't notice it. Some of us are waking up. Some of us are feeling overwhelmed and realizing that this is not natural and it doesn't lead to good things. It doesn't lead to progress, to innovation, to a species that succeeds and lives on for years and years to come. Because if there are no people innovating and nobody understands how the world works around them because they're just indulging in pleasure and degeneracy in the slop, then everything will fall apart at some point. The natural state of the universe is entropy. Whatever innovations, whatever technology, whatever advancements our ancestors developed, at some point, they'll decay into nothing. And when nobody understands how things work because everybody has been lobotomized Everybody's too stupid to understand reality. Everybody's in their own little AI virtual world. The only outcome is failure, destruction, death. And we'll become one more species that didn't pass the gate. They destroyed themselves with slop. Species 2489 destroyed itself with slop. It wasn't an atomic bomb. It wasn't a lack of resources. It was just slop. They slopped themselves to death. The irony of it. The irony that technology and the ability to build upon what your ancestors created in order to have a communication system that spreads across the entire face of your planet is the same thing that will lead us to our destruction. It's kind of funny when you think about it. It really is. It really is. But what can we do? What can you do as an individual? The only advice I can give you is to disconnect as much as you can. Try to only watch content that builds you up as an individual, as a person, that makes your mind stronger, that helps you grow. That's your only choice. Build up your critical thinking skills. Build up your self-worth, your passions, and grow your ability to know when something is worth your time or when it's a waste of your time. Get rid of the distractions. What else can you do? Avoid people that have already been psyoped because they'll bring you down. It's a mind virus. And they'll try to spread it to you at every opportunity, sending you little memes, sending you nonsensical slop videos, dragging you down, lowering your IQ. I'm convinced that we've gotten stupider. It's like somebody read Fahrenheit 451 or 1984, and they got to the part where they speak about truth and about erasing the knowledge of our ancestors and simplifying the language. And they said, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. Anybody who's read Fahrenheit 451 knows exactly what I'm talking about because we're basically living in it. We're living in it. I don't know what else I can say about this. The era of slop has begun, and it's up to you to protect your brain or not.